Welcome once again to the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge with your host here, the Cosmic Messenger. So, some of you might recognize the background that's behind me. So this is my newest art piece that I've printed out. It comes in a wide variety of forms. My online portal for my artwork is on Society 6, and you can type in the Cosmic Messenger or my name, Derek Pennett, and you'll be able to find some of my artwork there. So I printed it up. One of my pieces, known as the Akashic Records back there. I use these for multidimensional shifting, so all my art has a purpose for educational, teaching, wisdom, divine downloads, and also energy frequencies. So the background is 88 by 108 inches. So that's going to be my new backdrop for the next coming while. So today I wanted to chat with everybody really quickly about the auric field, your aura, and the 7 layers that make up your aura. So you have 7 layers in your auric field, and they start with just being like a little bit off your body, right? And then each layer progressively gets further out to about maximum of 10 feet. But when your aura is really strong, it shoots out to more closer to 30 feet. But the 7 main layers that you're working with are all in under that 10-foot layer, more in the first like 6 feet. So your aura carries around with you the energy field of you, allowing you to animate and have the experiences that you have in your stellar, multidimensional physical body. And without your auric field, you would not be able to hold the physical as we are today. So the aura layers go with the chakras, but they also have their own color systems built into it. But each one resonates with the chakras as we know them, from the root down at the bottom, right, up into the third eye and the crown and beyond. So when we're doing multidimensional full spectrum healing, it's good to check in with the galactic properties that go with the auric field, because everything starts from above and then comes down into the body from there. So technically, when you've seen something physically manifest, it started from an outer energetic perspective, right? Not even perspective, that's where it came from first, and then it generated into there, maybe excluding, like breaking your leg and falling on the ground. That's a direct physical experience, that we can still have those too, right? But we'll get to that one in a moment. But pretty much everything comes from up there and then comes down into your field. So your aura plays a huge part in how you navigate the world. Now, some people say, well, I can't see an aura. What are you talking about? The energy is there with us everywhere we go anyways, all day, every day. It's from when we're little kids right up to when we're about to exit the body. Now, if you're having a feeling that day that like, oh, my body and around it, just everything in my visualizations, my imagination, all that stuff that they told us when we were kids was playing tricks on us, that is the color readout of where you're currently at, or some of the color medicine you may require. So let's get into the first layer. So when I do my multi-dimensional Reiki treatments, I also have one that's dedicated to doing an aura scan and an aura healing and cleansing. So the first layer of the aura is the wonderful and amazing etheric double, known as the etheric body. So this one rests like just a little bit, just a few inches off of your body, right? So when you're doing a healing treatment, my hands are a little bit above the body in that specific layer. Now the etheric body works together with all the hues and colors of the root chakra and much more, but it's the energy equivalent to your physical body, which also holds you into place while you're doing your day-to-day activities that are more astral and cosmic. So astral traveling, or you're laying on the ground and somebody's doing a guided meditation and you go somewhere, right? Or you're really daydreaming, or you're at sound therapy, or in some cases people know how to astral project their body, get to other planets, all that stuff. The etheric body's holding you into place right here so that you can have that experience. Because without it, your body would fly all over the place, or you wouldn't be able to relocate where it was when you're coming back and flying in, right? The etheric body holds the codes of your physical, all of the physical stuff that you go through. So if something's not healing in the physical, you go to the etheric body to see what's up in that department, right? Because it manifested there first before it came to the physical. And you can also, all of the energies that come out of our body get passed through so much cosmic activity. All your higher self, your light body, all these other bodies, right? Then they come into your auric field, and then they start to interact. But the direct energy current that comes out of our hands when we're making chi, universal life force energies, they come and pass through the etheric body. And it is kind of like a double. It's like the double you sitting beside you. If you've ever seen images that were created where it shows like a character running across the screen and there's like tracers and shadows behind them and they're multicolored, that's another fractilian way of looking at that body. That would be one of them taking place. So you want to look at that component. The second layer that we're going for, so the first three are the physical plane, because they all happen on planes of existence. The second one goes into emotional body. So what is the emotional? So we're going first off, so we're at the etheric, right? From my hand down here, and then you go up a few more inches, and we're now in the emotional body. And the emotional body holds all of the current right in front of us stuff. Same with the physical one of the etheric double. These first three are what's right in front of us right now. What kind of emotions are you experiencing? Where did they come from? And why are they, where are they and why are they hidden in the background, the subtle realms, right? For all of the patterning that we do today and how we go about our daily lives. So if somebody on the surface has a lot of anger, and that's what we're observing, and they're having a constant issue with something, that anger is usually lodged quite a bit deeper. And you go up the chakra levels, right? So now we're into the oranges. But each auric layer has 7 more additional chakras. And what I also like to say is they use a hypercolor method. So they do change and oscillate and resonate with different qualities depending on where we are in our ascension spectrum, what we're currently healing on that, and all sorts of stuff. So in the emotions, are we holding on to the guilt, right? Are we holding on to our fear? Are we experiencing so much ecstatic joy that we crash all the time and we burn out, right? I've definitely been there before. So that's the emotional layer on the second layer. These are the light codes. These are the stuff that starts to dig deeper into your DNA and your cells of who you truly are and what you've carried with you through many lifetimes. The third layer, so we're on my shoulders here, right? So we got etheric, emotional body. Now we got the mental body. So what's going on inside your mind works with the air. That's its element, right? The emotional body is your direct thoughts and feelings when it's in the physical plane, the first 3 layers of your aura. And it shows what's going on in your mental activity right now. One could attest to it being kind of Gemini-like, if we wanted to go there, and Mercury and all that stuff. So what's coming out of you fast? So you have a pattern of thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality. So if we've checked out the emotional component, or maybe it wasn't even one, then we go right into the mental area and start to activate those energies so that they come up to surface, and then the toxins can be released. And in some cases, when you're doing aura work, just to throw that out there, you are doing maintenance and tune-ups. Doesn't mean that you have any major issues. Everybody has a lot more, including myself, than we realize. But you can go in there to just kind of like add to it and clean it up quite a bit and keep it healthy, right? So the mental aspect, and your mental aspect projects out so much farther than your emotional body, right? It's the next layer that you're peeling off these layers and moving up the chain. And the mental body controls a lot of our actions. So when we can relax the mental mind and find different tears and holes in the auric field in those levels, then we can get to the direct physical manifestation that you may be experiencing, or it might even be an emotional one too, because they all do connect, right? So now that we're into the mental body, we're dealing with the yellow, the will, the organizing of your day-to-day actions and how those affect the outer world and your inner universe, right? Through all things thought, mind, and the first layers of our conscious, unconscious, subconscious, not the deeper layers of them, and the collective superconscious. Okay? The fourth layer is one of my most fantastically fun ones. It's the heart center, right? That's the astral plane, which sits in its own plane by itself. It bends time and space. Everything goes quantum, mystical. And when you're going through those moments, when you're reaching the heart plane, it has a lot to do with love, giving love, receiving love, unconditional love, showing up, doing the work, being of service. All those fall into the heart category, because your heart actually beams the furthest out of your entire body. It reaches the outer edges of the cosmos 40,000 times stronger and faster than any other part in your body. So now we're working with green in all of its hues. And remember, each layer of the aura has 7 other chakras and layers within itself, right? So you have to line those all up. It's like the heart chakra goes. So now we're 2, 3, 4. So we're about here roughly, right? It's flexible. And then because there's a wider plane. They're each about, that thick. And so you're working with the heart center, but each of them connect to all the other systems, right? So you reach a new level when you get there. So anything that you do that is outside of your body, on any form, you're teleporting, you're astral traveling, you're connecting with your spirit guides and all that stuff. The way that they enter into your field is through the astral plane. That's the 4th dimension, right? And there's other versions of astral planes in the 6th and the 8th dimension as well, but those are more sacred geometrics and stuff. So your heart holds a lot of the templates that merge the physical plane on the bottom with the top half, which is the spiritual plane. So diving in and doing heart medicine is a really fantastic one, because what it does is it opens up all your other centers and allows, so you could start with the heart when you're doing a healing or looking at yourself or investigating aura field, anything, and let's say you wanted to do some additional work on yourself, you could activate the heart first, which will charge up all the other centers and then open them all up. It's a very speedy way. So when somebody has something really critical, dive right into the heart. Go there. It's the place you want to be. It's also the master pump of our blood. And our blood flows through our whole body and connects us through all the nutrients of everything we need. It's not just from food. It's prana, it's life force energy. It's every single thing that we do. It's our communication to the stars and to the stardust. So now we're starting to get a little further. We're going to go into the 5th plane, which is another higher level than the other ones. Now we're in the spiritual planes. There's 3 of them up there. We're dealing with turquoise, right? That's the color of the day. The icy light blues and all of its hues. We are now in the 5th layer, and the 5th layer is called the etheric template. Why is it called template, but the first layer was called body? So now we're in the upper physical plane in the spiritual realm. And the etheric body, which was the first layer, now you're in the etheric template, that holds the master codes, the deepest, darkest, the deepest, lightest, the most beautiful, the intense of every single thing that you experience in your physical department. So if you have any fantastical superpowers that come through, extrasensory perceptions, the final stop before they create these, the final stop of creating the template, the structures that then feed into the rest of the bodies, goes through the etheric template. And then let's say you're healing in the etheric body and you're not getting anywhere, and you've been doing many years of work, many months of work. You're like, I just don't think it's in that spot. Well, guess where it's lodged into? It's in the etheric template. And the etheric template connects to the next upper bodies, right? So you have the etheric double, the etheric template, and that merges your astral twin and starts to connect you to your higher self and your essence self. So now when we go even further up, we're in the spiritual plane, we're at the 6th layer now, of the auric field, and that is the celestial template. This is the upper emotional component. So when people do affirmation work and they're using the lower mental plane, they're also activating the higher emotional plane. This is where your plutonic, your deepest, wildest emotions reside. Your longings that you've held on through many generations, through many bodies, through many incarnations. These are the subconscious, super subconscious patterns, emotions that are sitting there and have been there for extremely long periods of time. This is your high point of your feeling center. It's also the activator of your sensations, feelings, especially when you take them to a cosmic level, right? And not just in yourself, but feeling them in others as well too, right? So now we're dealing with the upper emotional. We're dealing with more in the third eye zone, the indigos, all of its hues. But remember, with your auric field, they move through all the different colors, from gray right up to the blue, and everything in between. So it's like you're aligning them all. You need all of these layers to be healthy, to form this eggshell around you that is robust, powerful, and ready to go. The celestial template is the one that starts to get us off planetary in full physical form, so we can bring these abilities into ourselves, communicate with the Akashic records as well too. All of this stuff that we're thinking we may be doing down the road, we're already doing it now. So we talked about communicating with spirit guides, but this is also activating. So audio experiences, right? Your clairaudience and your clairsentience abilities and clairvoyance. They're coming from your third eye region and your crown, the final layer. So now we are sitting in the emotional aspect of those. So when you do affirmation work and you've seen some healing and it truly worked, it was sitting there in the upper emotional template of the celestial template. The final layer of your auric field is the seventh layer, and that is the upper mental aspect. This is the master controller of all things that make up your soul in this existence, having this avatar body. It is known as the key etheric template. All the other layers of the auric field merge into one and go into the crown. They go into the crown chakra for the deep royal blue. And with this comes your cosmic communication through all of your mind thought patterns at the deepest levels before you even incarnated. All of it comes with you. All of it stays with you. What you choose to do with it and how you choose to release it, heal it, morph it. It's all a biomorphing experience. So these are like those layers that are hidden inside of your DNA. This is how you activate your DNA's 12 strands. This is how you get the information outside of your cells. This is how you communicate with off-world beings. This higher mental aspect, in conjunction with the celestial sixth layer aura, generates all these light languages that people are talking. That's been something that's been popping up more. Or when people get downloads for the light codes, right? Or you start to have some very serious conversations with your starseed home planets. Or the galactic central sun, or our sun, starts to show itself as well too. Because you have your human form with these 7 layers of the auric field, right? And you have your final crown layer. The thing is, though, is after the crown layer. So I said royal blue. What am I doing here? The final crown layer is purple. The royal blue indigo for your third eye, right? And then it's purple for the last one. Got to check myself in. I'm just going off on this awesomeness. So yeah, so those are the 7 layers of your auric field. And when they have holes and things that need mended, a practitioner can go in there and do the work with you and really boost that up. But you can also pay attention to your auric field. Sometimes you want to go somewhere, but you're just like, I don't want to be that close. That is your aura talking to you. And now the more time that you spend investigating, where exactly is that feeling? Is it a foot from my body? Is it a couple inches? Ooh, I like when that person's right beside me, but when they come up and touch me, that felt weird. And then an emotion may be triggered. There's so many scenarios. It's countless and it's endless. That's what makes it super fascinating, right? Your aura is and when it's all finalized, it is your golden egg. It is the energy that you sit inside of you. And it carries with you all of your experiences. Every single one. And then from your auric field after that, that's another continuation of your golden cord. And your auric field is pure color and energy. So thank you for taking a time to listen to a little bit more. I mean, we could go a whole video and more just into one layer specifically. So I'm going to continue on my day here. Wanted to make another video and test out this backdrop. Hope you're all having a wonderful cosmic experience. We have some eclipses coming up. I believe it's the 4th or the 5th of June. We have an eclipse. We have one on the summer solstice on June 21st, and then another one on July 4th or 5th as well. So they're kind of matched up. We're going to have 3 back-to-back, and it's going to be one amazing experience. So have a beautiful day, everyone. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and we'll be back soon with more wild cosmic information. Have an interstellar day. Bye-bye.